Hey everyone, Richard Gibbons here, Executive Director for SWMLS, and today I want to talk about some really common scams that are going on and then give you a couple recommendations to avoid them, and then also what to do if you do find yourself caught in one. So, pulling up this presentation here, the thing I want to talk about is dealing with land scams, and then it also happens a lot with paid off homes as well. So, of course, I have to say I'm not an attorney. This video is not legal advice. There's some legal things we're going to talk about in here. And I'm also going to talk about at the end that if you do come across a scammer, let us know about the listing, but really they should be reported to the appropriate authorities, which I'll also talk about a little bit later in the video. But bottom line is this video is not legal advice. If you have any kind of questions about that, reach out to your attorney or insurance or your qualifying broker. So first off, I want to talk about how common these things are. There has been 3 of these just this week in our MLS. So this is not something that's happening on some far-off magical land. It's happening right here in Albuquerque every single day. And I'm telling you guys, we hear about this constantly. I probably hear about it somewhere between 10 to 15 times a month here at Southwest MLS. So very common scams. This is nationwide right now. And the way it works is these scammers look through public records and they find either vacant lots, or they find rental properties, or they find properties that don't have a mortgage or any kind of lien on it, and they get the seller's identity from those records, and then they contact a listing agent to try to get you to list it. They typically want to list it below market value. They are really pushing for it. They usually have some sort of sob story like, oh, I need to sell this quickly because my mother is dying or something like that. They refuse to sign any kind of documents in person. They impersonate notaries. There's been examples of them actually using stolen notary stamps, and then they get these documents all sent off to title of the closing attorneys. And then sometimes this fraud isn't discovered until after the monies have already been transferred. And the big issue here is that this is a numbers game for them. So they know that 9 out of 10 of these are going to get caught in title, but that one that misses, or the one that everybody misses and goes through, can net them $100,000 plus. So it's worth it to them. So they're really pushing this out. So the red flags to look for is they claim they can't meet in person. They want to work via WhatsApp. Anytime you have somebody that is saying they only want to work via WhatsApp, that should be a major red flag for you. Because WhatsApp, the deal with that is that the messages are not stored. They're not kept. They're deleted immediately after they're sent. So there's not a way to keep a record of that, which should automatically be a red flag for you. Again, they claim some sort of a family emergency. Email addresses or phone numbers are from another country. Photo IDs, like a driver's license or a passport, they're barely legible or they look like they may have been altered. They don't want any kind of due diligence fees. They don't want any kind of earnest money. They really want to push for a quick closing. They're more interested in that quick closing than anything else, and they'll set almost any price that they think that'll happen. If they're unwilling to perform terms of the contract, they're not returning paperwork quickly. They become angry or apply pressure if you start asking too many questions. Or if there's any kind of delay in the process. Because again, these people are trying to work as many of these as possible as quickly as possible. So anything that slows down that process is going to get them angry. So that's some of the red flags to look out for. If you're coming across any of those, you might be a potential victim of a scam. So let's get into some recommendations on how to avoid these. First off, ask for detailed information. If you ask for that detailed information and they start getting really belligerent, it's a pretty good chance they're going to be a scammer. Independently research the name of the seller and check their photo ID. Use Forewarn. We have this product out there for you for a reason. It's free. Search the phone number they're talking to you on and see if it attaches to a real person. Require an in-person meeting or at least a Zoom meeting of some sort so you can actually see their photo ID and verify that that's who they are. Anything that takes even the slightest amount more time and makes it the slightest bit more inconvenient for them, they're going to push back on. They're not going to want to do. Contact the listed property owner. Find a verified telephone number for them, or send an overnight service letter to the address. Get the address off the property tax bills of where the owner actually is. Send an overnight letter and see, hey, I just want to verify that your property is actually for sale. Remind is something that can help out with things like this. When you get to the part of a notary, make sure the notary is a real person that is appointed by applicable government agency. Suggest using a remote online notary. Another recommendation that you can give to your clients is if you go to alerts.google.com and just enter an address and then hit create alert, it'll send you a Google alert anytime that address shows up on the internet. So like if this listing pops up on one of the listing portals, that your consumer will get a email saying, hey, your address just showed up here, and then that way it's a way they can look out for it. So that's another way you can kind of help you and your clients avoid potential scams. If you know somebody who owns a high value land lot, like a land lot that could sell for $100,000 or more, I highly recommend letting them know about this and signing up for it, because those are especially targeted. Things like your North Albuquerque acres and places like that have these high value land lots that don't have mortgages and things on them, high probability target for scammers. And then finally, what to do if you've been scammed. So first off, talk to your qualifying broker. Talk with them about any kind of legal concerns or insurance concerns and things like that you might need to handle. Contact Southwest MLS support and let us know, because we'll actually take the listing down. We'll delete it completely and then make sure that it comes down off of everywhere that it's supposed to. While you're waiting on Southwest MLS support to get that taken care of, go ahead and update your LOSO remarks. And also, that way you can notify others that the property was fraudulent. And also, make sure you reach out to any brokers who contacted you about the property. Let them know that it was fraudulent so they stop putting work into it. And then just along those same lines, if there's a property in the market that's priced significantly lower than market, you may want to talk to your buyer and kind of let them know that this is very likely going to be a scam before you put a lot of work into it yourself. And then finally, to report these kind of issues, local police can't be that much of a help because it's a cybercrime. A lot of these people are located outside of the country. They very, very often are not going to be located here in the area. So there's this Internet Crime Complaint Center, ic3.gov, or you can go to fbi.gov/cyber, and there's a way that you can file a complaint there. Now, don't look at this like there's not going to be an investigator assigned to this who's going to follow up with you a whole lot, but it does help them create a database where they can try to identify patterns and track down these people long range. So, again, be safe out there, guys. Be diligent. The days of giving people the benefit of the doubt and just trusting what they say are unfortunately long gone. The internet is a dangerous place with a lot of scammers all over the place. So do your due diligence. Make sure that these people are who they say they are before you're getting the listing in the MLS and getting others tied up in this. And just really make sure you take those steps to protect yourself and your clients. And then again, if you are scammed, you're not the first. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's a lot better to make sure everybody knows so that we can get the listing out of the MLS, get the proper people contacted and notified about the issue, and protect yourself legally and via insurance and things like that, and make sure your qualifying broker is aware of it as well. So any questions, you can always give us a call down here at the bottom, 505-843-8833, or support@swmls.com. Thank you all and have a wonderful day.